Okay, first order of business is to elect a new chairman for the year 2026.
Well, nominate Phil Dupre.
Okay, we have a second.
Unless somebody else wants to do it. Unless Jake wants to do it.
I second the nomination.
Okay, motion is made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, approve the minutes from December 10th, 2025.
Make a motion to approve the minutes. December 10th, 25.
Second the motion.
Okay, a motion has been made to approve the minutes. Is there any discussion? Anybody have anything to say? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Treasurer's report.
All right, so if you're in the room and have a packet, it's the very last page in there if you want to follow along, and then Pam will pull it up on the screen as well. That's all right. So for our December 2025 revenues and expenses, we had a beginning balance in our checking of $208,248. And then, like I said, less our expenses and the additions of our revenue gave us an ending balance in our checking account of $274,238. And then we also have our UBS investment account with a balance of $247,786, giving the township total assets of $522,024. And just a note on kind of where that balance sat a year ago today, that was at $400,000. So we're up about $125,000 in total assets for the township year over year. And that was, a main goal of this board, to put more funds away for road improvements long-term. So kind of a capital investment fund, if you will. And so moving down to the middle section on expenses, pretty similar year over year, about $1,800 less in expenses from December of last year. And that was due to last year we had a larger kind of road invoice, but offset this year when we paid the fire protection invoice to St. Paul Park, which was paid in October of last year. So kind of just a timing difference there. And then in our revenues, almost $80,000 higher, and this was due to the timing of our property tax payment. So we received it in November of 2024, but not until December of 2025, and then it was about $16,000 higher, again, in the effort to preserve more funds for capital improvements long-term for the township. And then we can scroll all the way to the bottom. The bottom left number shows our surplus for 2025, which is almost $104,000. So again, the goal was to have a surplus this year to be able to put towards roads in the future. So we accomplished that. The goal was $80,000. So did that, and then had an additional savings of about $23,000 in there. And I'm working through the full 2025 reconciliation, but the main two areas where we spent less than our budget were snow removal and road maintenance year over year. So any questions for me?
Anybody got any questions? Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Second the motion.
Okay, motion is made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, moving on to pay the bills.
I'll make a motion to pay bills 1 through 18 for a grand total of $22,624.16.
I second the motion.
Okay, a motion has been made and seconded to approve bills 1 through 18 totaling $22,624.16.
I just got one question about that snow and ice thing Phil was talking about, Pam. How long is that for? I mean, is that like year to date, or how often do they bill us like that?
I think going forward now they'll bill us monthly.
Okay.
Well, they shouldn't bill us for the snow. That's,
It just depends on the.
I mean, the snow, the ice control. I mean, that's for buying ice or salt.
It's only if he gets ice.
So,
Just salt.
So if he doesn't get salt, we don't get billed, but.
Do they usually bill us? Do they usually bill us monthly?
I'm trying to think.
That's okay. We don't need to know now. I was just curious.
I was gonna say, I don't think we've paid this for this snow season, if that helps.
Yeah,
So I think this is kind of our first
I've
for
seen
this
it
snow
this year.
season. Yeah, so it would be
Okay.
November and
right.
December, essentially. So,
Right.
yeah.
It could be January, February, I
We wouldn't,
recall.
I don't know that we'd prepay, though, if he hasn't picked it up, right?
We do not prepay,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
So.
It's after the fact.
Yeah.
We've even received bills like in April because they just were like, oh,
Yeah.
we forgot.
I remember that before. We got a big bill and it was, oh, we forgot to bill you.
Right.
I think we even got a refund one year, didn't we? Because they billed us twice or
That was
something.
before me, but they were, yeah, Bulow was charging us and
Okay. All right.
It is a large expense for the township, obviously, as we can all see here. So I think, yeah, maybe myself and the board can question it or make sure we're in alignment with Bulow on the log of hours and the salt billing and things to make sure there's not a double payment somehow.
Right.
And then I know just,
getting at.
you know,
Seems like-
weather-wise, we are ahead for kind of this time in the year for snowfall, just in the state, so.
You know, as long as we're talking about snow plowing, I know we've had a few residents say they put too much salt on, or why'd they come down for this little snow or that snow, and it's, you know, it's kind of hard to, when do they come out? You know what I mean? It's, and I guess I'd sooner spend an extra $1,000 or $2,000 a snow plow than have somebody total out their $40,000 car and get hurt. We got that hanging out there too if it happens, so.
Well, luckily, Bulow goes by Washington County. If Washington County goes out and salts the night before, he's doing it.
Yeah.
If they go out and plow, he's out plowing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. I just want to mention one thing too, as far as the town hall goes. I'd been shoveling, and I've asked him to do it because I can't. And also I've asked him to plow the parking lot when it snows instead of right before a meeting, because I told him we have people coming in, like I mean, he could probably get through, but I don't know, like the guy that does the satellite toilet.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so he said, well, that might raise the price. And it's like, well, you know, you've been telling me for 3 years you're going to do it, and you haven't yet. So either start doing it or I'm starting to look. I'm done shoveling.
So is he strictly based on the Washington County schedule, or is it per, like, it's inch or more?
It is
Just
based on
watches what-
if Washington County goes out and they're plowing, this guy's plowing. And the only reason we're doing that is because nobody in this township wants to stay up all night long to see if we need to call him.
Right.
So basically, that's what Washington County is doing. They're the ones staying up all night long, making the call. And he's listening to Washington County's radios, and he's,
And then another thing, the guy that does our plowing comes from Stillwater, so you know how it is. Stillwater might get 4 inches of snow, and we get none. And then we got another little issue with the county road. You know, so he watches like Pam said, if the county trucks go out, he goes out. Well, they go out just about every time there's anything, because they have to. Okay, so we're basically responsible for the county road because they reimburse us for plowing that. So you got that in there too. Again, like I say, you know, I've thought before, geez, that little bit of snow, but like I say, somebody goes in the ditch and gets hurt. I don't want to be the one to call them and say, yeah, I don't come down this morning. You know, then somebody goes off the road and gets hurt.
Does he go all the way up to 13th Street then?
Yeah, yep,
So he does that section
yeah.
right around the island?
He don't do the Cottage Grove side, but he does the Gray Cloud half. He goes down to the bottom of the hill on Island Drive, does Pioneer Road, the trail, Geneva,
105.
yeah, and 105th. Yeah.
Anything else?
On the bill here, the snow and ice control, line 8 or 9, you said is just when he picks up the the salt?
Yeah,
And line 15 is when he's actually out plowing?
yeah. What he does, he goes to the county garage, I think on Bailey Road, and gets the salt from them, and then they charge us for the salt.
I'll make that clear on the bills going forward. Washington County calls it snow and ice control, but I'll also put in their salt, so you guys understand that it's
Yeah,
just salt.
Yeah, it's really only salt. We don't buy snow.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Moving on to reports, I'm going to kind of move the schedule up here, so we have a,
No, we're fine. 2 more things, and then she's up. Just the meeting notice?
well, there's next town board meeting, audit, and then there's her. I'm going to have her speak right now. If you come up, introduce yourself, tell people who we are and what brings you to our township.
Hello, thank you for having me. My name is Merritt Clapp-Smith, and I am a planner with the Twin Cities Metropolitan Council. So I work as your local sector representative for this community and other communities in the southern half of Washington County and eastern half of Dakota County. So the Metropolitan Council, we oversee water, wastewater services, transit, other infrastructure in the region. And anytime you're working on something, have questions that are appropriate for the Metropolitan Council, I would be your main point of contact, and then I could direct you accordingly. So as you know, every 10 years, under Minnesota statute, every community in the region has to update its local comprehensive plan. That local comprehensive plan under state statute looks kind of ahead 25 years. So this year, the next update will be called the 2050 plan. And it looks ahead for your community in plans for transportation, land use, housing, water, wastewater, parks, kind of all the major things that a community would think about. And there are certain kind of minimum requirements, things you need to address in that plan when you update it. So the next plan, the 2050 plan, those will be due to the Metropolitan Council at the end of 2028. So we have a lot of tools online for communities, support that we provide during that process. But this cycle, we have a completely new program that your community is eligible for, and that's called the Small Communities Planning Program. So this is new. It's funded under the Metropolitan Council budget, and 29 communities in the region were identified as eligible based on having a population under 2,500, current population, and kind of an adjusted net tax capacity per capita that's not at the high end of what you'd see in the region, but kind of middle or lower. So what are the communities that are kind of the most resource constrained, either financially or from a staffing standpoint, to do what's a very large effort, which is to update a comprehensive plan? Most communities will hire consultants. So what this program provides the opportunity for you to do, if you choose to participate, is we will be helping the communities in the program do their comprehensive plan update, essentially by acting as your consultants. So we will do the research, the data, collect the maps, draft the whole plan, review it with you. You would still be responsible for setting the vision, the priorities, identifying what's most important to put in that plan, and hosting your own community conversations about your priorities around housing, transportation. But we would be the worker bees making the plan come together. And again, the council decided to make this investment because there's recognition that these plan updates are a significant lift for our very smallest communities in the region. So here tonight to say hello and that you are eligible for the program. This is something you can think about in the coming months. We won't set up the formal process for communities to submit the materials and sign an agreement with us if they wish to participate, so you have a little time to think. But if you do wish to, it will be an agreement where we say, here are the things we are committing to provide you as services, here are the things, expectations we would have of you as the community, having a point person, being willing to convene community meetings, things like that. So that formal information for review and discussion will be probably available in March, I'd say.
Will you be a point person as far as sending us the information to
Yes, I will. So I happen to be the sector representative for the community, but I'm also the project manager for this new program. So yes, I will be your point person. Yeah, for any questions or things you need. And if you do participate, which we hope you will, then you will also see me and staff that I will be working with as you would go through that process. I'm going to pause for questions. I just have one or two more points to make, but any questions so far?
Just a quick one, I think you mentioned 29 or 26 communities are eligible. If they all say, yep, we want in, are you able to have that capacity, or is it like an application, like we can only take 15 of whoever?
We are setting it up with the anticipation of serving 29 communities.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah. And I should add, in addition to, we will be adding staff for 2 years, a few staff to our team to help us, temporary positions. But we're also investing in hiring engineering consultants who would help us with the water and wastewater elements of the comprehensive plan, because that's very technical work. And each community is different. Some provide their own water service, some don't. Some are septic, some have wastewater. So the engineers will kind of plug in to provide the services that we need depending on the unique circumstances of the community.
So we can take our existing plan and scratch and add and do this and that, and, the mess we'd end up with, and then talk to you guys and have you straighten it out for us? Putting it in basic terms?
Yeah. We, right, it is not our goal, if you're in the program, it is not our goal to completely reinvent the wheel and
Right.
start from scratch.
Yeah.
One of our first jobs is to take all the current plans for the communities we work with and upload them and kind of identify everything that we expect would kind of generally be the same. And then work with you to focus community conversations on what's changed in the past 10 years, what do we really need to refine compared to the 2040 plan. And I'm not sure what process you used when you updated your 2040 plan, or if you had consultants or did it in-house.
Last time they hired a consultant,
Okay.
and we were happy to hear this, because it cost us a fair amount of money
Yeah, well,
for the budget we have.
It's expensive. I was looking at the nice money you've been saving and thinking, well, that would disappear fast. I also just want to add, we are welcome and happy to work with if you have any existing engineering or planning consultants that do GIS data or analysis for you. I think it'll be really helpful to kind of share data, have some core conversations, and so it's really up to you how much you want them. Even if you're in the program, you might decide, we still want, these folks, engaging with them and kind of sharing data.
You're pretty much looking at our consultants, our staff, our treasurer, our IT department.
Right, city engineer.
Public works, city engineering.
It is how it is for a lot of small
Yeah,
communities,
yeah.
yeah.
What you see is the
Right.
top
I'm
of the...
surprised you're not out there plowing. I mean, often that's the,
You know what? We have.
Been everything,
Yeah.
yeah.
so again, you don't have to decide tonight, and I'm happy to have follow-up conversations.
Okay.
So, any other?
Anybody got anything else?
I think the goal is to have the 2050 plan by 2028.
Well, yeah, that's a great question. Under Minnesota statute, they have to be submitted by end of 2028, but it's our goal that for the plans in this program, we would like to have them completed by summer 2028, because then that removes, a chunk of plans that we're not having to review at the end. Because under state law, when you get an application, you have 15 days to review it to see if it's complete. We have the same rule for the comprehensive plan. So our staff of 10 people potentially get 188 plans within a 2-week period that we have 15 days to review, and they're all 300 pages long. So we're trying to stagger these out a little bit.
Yeah.
Very
Luckily,
good.
not much has changed in Gray Cloud.
A lot.
Sun comes up over there, goes down over there, and in
Yeah.
between, everything is about the same.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Hey,
Yeah,
thank you. Nice to
we
meet you.
appreciate them doing this and appreciate you coming
Yeah.
down here.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, moving on to the Planning Commission report. You guys didn't meet January. Okay, the next Planning Commission will be Monday, February 2nd at 6:30 PM. The next town board meeting will be Wednesday, February 11th at 7 o'clock. And our Board of Audit meeting will be Wednesday, February 11th, also at 6:30. So a half hour prior to our board meeting, Wednesday, February 11th will be our Board of Audit. Any other committees or any other events? I see none. Moving on to unfinished business, we have the Amrize administrative mining permit.
You want to talk about that, Jake, or?
So we have been going back and forth via email, drafting an administrative permit. This is where we're at so far. We don't, I'm not sure about this. We don't intend to go in depth on it.
No.
We're going to ask Pam to file the 60-day extension. Part of the permitting process for the administrative permit is we're going to wait for the county to review the CUP, the 5-year conditional use permit. So Pam you have to file a letter. Okay. Yep. So we'll vote on that as a board here in a moment. Letter extension 60 days, which will bring us into March, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, we won't make the March meeting, so I'm hopeful that February we can have this nailed.
Perfect.
Hopeful.
Yep.
Or
If not, we're going to have to do a special
We
meeting.
can have a special meeting. We've done that a lot of
I think
times.
it's February 23rd, or I might be wrong. It could go into March, but it's not, doesn't quite make the March meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you have concerns about that Mapson? Did you want to bring that up?
Yeah. So one thing that we're trying to avoid in this administrative permit is any reference to northern reserves. That was guidance by our planner and our attorney. I think language-wise, it's stripped out of there. The only thing that we're seeing here is this reclamation map. It's got the hatched-out section of northern reserves. Yeah, C3. It does say unpermitted, but we would prefer if that area is not included. So I think on the C4 map, which shows the mining footprint, it's not in that map. Or is it figure 1? Yeah. Yep, sorry, that one. So that one doesn't include the northern reserves. So we would like the reclamation map to follow that as well.
Another thing that would probably help us and you, like currently we have 3 of these maps. They're all marked C3, all got the same date on them. At least redate them so you know which one's
Most current.
which, yeah.
We need the most current.
I mean, the last one Patty gave us last meeting, I just wrote, got 12/17, so I knew which one it was, but
Well, this is signed. Patty says this one is signed. The other one wasn't.
but anyway, that's just for future when you give it something.
I have some comments about the first draft at least. Yeah, I'll double check, but usually the signature date and then a revision date is there.
Oh. Yeah, these just got a date, and they're all,
Oh, it's there.
we got, is it?
There's date.
Oh, over to the left over there.
Yeah. But the first one we got. was a signed
Okay.
date.
All right.
And then signed
never mind that, as long as you got that revision thing on there, okay,
That's typically how we do it, and
Okay.
kind of describe what that revision is.
okay. They get so small, you can't see them in my old
Oh,
age.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even
yeah.
see that.
Okay,
Problem, I get it.
okay, forget that then, as long as we know it's on there somewhere. Otherwise, I'm sitting there, I got 3 of them. I knew which one was current, because Patty handed them out, but,
Can we ask a question about that? Or?
sure.
Yeah. Can you come up here?
Yeah, come up here, so.
Thoughts about it? Yeah, so just on this reclamation. Kirsten Pauley, Sunday Engineering, here on behalf of Amrize. So the reclamation plan was submitted just as a request from last year. It's not really part of the permit application. And then based on your input last meeting, we wanted this to be consistent with what's been submitted to the county, but illustrate that that would be the absolute maximum extent based on what happens in the future. But it's very clear on this drawing that if it is not mined, that area is not part of the lake. And I don't know what else we can do to make that more clear.
We're just taking advice from our planner and our attorney that said,
We just
do
wanna
everything
see
by
it.
your current ordinances. If this lawsuit you guys got going prevails, then we basically start over.
Okay.
Otherwise, he said, follow your existing ordinances. And we have to meet with the county yet on this reclamation. We got a meeting coming up with them coming up, so,
Okay.
so,
All right, thank you.
okay.
Okay.
Kind of trying to get everything to match too, you know, I mean, the stuff we have versus what's in the reclamation plan, so everything jives. Reclamation plan don't say one thing, annual permit says another thing.
Yep.
Leads to confusion and court battles.
Well, and the reclamation plan was based on what was submitted to the county, which does
Yeah.
include the northern reserve.
Right,
Because it is allowed under their ordinance.
yeah.
Anything else? You want to add something, Patty?
I'm just going to reiterate, it's included in the plan that we provided to you folks, which is, again, is not part of your administrative permit. We want to mirror what we provided to the county. You say we want to be consistent. Dick just said we want to be consistent. Well, this is the plan showing the entire, what could be mined, dependent, but there's a solid disclaimer in there saying that it might not be all of that, the lake might not be that bad, that big, provided on what is allowed once things progress. So I think that disclaimer, it addresses your concerns. And I really want to reiterate that we want this plan to be the one that you have in your hands with that disclaimer, because it is what was submitted to the county.
Yeah, we're going off what we were told by the planner and our attorney, so.
What we, see what we
You're
have,
using the word consistent.
we don't want any reference into that area at all in your permitting or reclamation, because
Reclamation isn't.
the reclamation, because you know, it's an area that isn't approved for mining.
Okay.
So
Okay.
why would you show that in your reclamation plan? See, if you show it in your reclamation plan, then you can always come back to us and say, well, you approve the reclamation plan and it
But
shows
you're not
this.
approving the
So,
reclamation plan, is what we're saying. You're not approving
so
it as
that's-
part of the ordinance.
I think what he's getting at is we've had it come before. Well, we showed this 5 years ago on that one drawing that
That's
you guys.
because those were actual permits.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're not approving this, but that is what it is. I just want you to clearly understand when you meet with the county that their reclamation plan is going to show the northern reserves because that's what their ordinance allows.
Okay,
Okay.
good.
So with respect to the draft permit that you folks have drafted, I appreciate getting it this afternoon. I'm going to strongly object to the language you have in there under the existing site conditions and proposed activities under the eastern mining area, where you are using the words violated, in violation, and illegally. We use that several times in that. And that language alleges that we or other former entities of us have violated or conducted our business in an illegal manner, which is simply not the case. All of that mining was previously approved by Washington County conditional use permits and your permits that you've issued to us over the years. We've never been charged with a permit violation for mining in those areas, and we are asking that it be removed from that language in your permit. I think it's very arbitrary, and I don't like it kind of connotates a negative bias towards our company. Additionally, I'd like to have you refer to the language that Haskamp Swanson provided to you in their staff reports in February 11th, 2024, and also on December 1st, 2023, when they were helping you with the draft of the administrative permits for 2023 or 2024 and 2025. When they referred to the east mining area there, they included language that stated, while portions of these areas are within the 500-foot setback, they do comply with the 200-foot setback, which regulated setback area in prior Washington County CUPs and township ordinances. The proposed lower bench extraction activities are within the footprint of the existing extraction boundary and do not further encroach the setback areas and are determined to be legally nonconforming. I would prefer that you put that language in there. We would, instead of all the illegal,
Patty, can you tell us again
violated.
where you found that, where you located for that verbiage?
If you go back to your staff reports from Swanson Haskamp, one was dated February 11th, 2024. That would have been for our,
Okay, 2/11/24.
yep, that would have been for our 2025 administrative permit. And the other one went back to December 1st, 2023. And that would have been for the 2024 administrative permit. Let's see. February 11th one, it was under background, and it was on the second page, or the third page. Actually, it was under East Mining Area on the third page of the staff report. That was the February 11th one. So, I'm not sure. I think you had a consultant this time, or a planner?
Yeah,
Can I ask who it was?
Kim Lindquist.
Lindquist? And typically, I mean, I'm going to request on behalf of the company that if there's a staff report involved, that we receive it. Because typically municipalities do provide staff reports to the applicants, and we didn't receive one.
We didn't either.
We didn't get one either.
Okay. Typically, you should get one.
We worked on the permit together. We didn't have a,
They didn't give you a report like Swanson Haskamp did.
Nope.
And who was it?
we didn't ask for one either. We
Was
worked
it?
directly with her, Kim Lindquist.
WSB Engineering.
Thank you. I couldn't remember that.
Okay. So I'd like you,
So what wordage would you put in there for mining in an area where you weren't permitted if it's not illegal?
I just read what I would like in there.
So,
We'll take it under advisement. How's that?
I'm sorry, I mean, and if you don't take it out, I want it on the record that we strenuously object to that. You are inferring that we've done something illegal. You approved it. Washington County approved those prior.
We're not going to get into discussion with you on that here tonight.
Well, I'm sorry,
Uh,
Dick, we need to get into a discussion because that is a very biased language in there. You didn't have it in
Well-
last year's. I am,
If you remember, Ray, we had discussions here. I don't really want to get into it without talking to our attorney and our planner. I'll just say this, and that's going to be the end of it. We had the discussions before when we let you continue mining there. In fact, Eduardo brought it up. Maybe we should make you get a conditional use permit for the mining in that area.
we're getting an interim use permit.
Huh?
We're getting an interim use permit. That's what your township requires. It's already been disturbed.
Right.
It's a legally non-conforming use when we've
You call it
already
legally non-conforming, we don't. We'll take it under advisement. We'll talk to our attorney and our planner about it.
Okay, in the northern mining area paragraph, can you elaborate what you mean by the last sentence, which states, "The new 2026 permit amends the proposed mining limits in this area and removes the 2025 limits that are not associated with the new 2026 mining boundary?"
I'd have to read. I didn't.
It's very confusing.
Just to me right now too, because I don't remember where that is in there.
It's a northern mining area, it's the very last sentence. It's on page 3. And our mining boundary is exactly what we showed in our 2025, it's exactly what was approved in the 2025 permit by you folks. So I'm kind of confused what that means.
Yeah, that,
I got to find it. Where are you talking in there now?
It's right up there, Pam has it up on the screen.
That's too far away to read.
Page
And
2.
it's in the area where it's got the
Actually, it's page 3.
north, okay, north mining, southwest, south mining, north, east mining.
Top of the page, very last paragraph, very last sentence in the first paragraph.
The new 2026 permit amends the proposed mining setbacks in this area and removes the 2025 limit.
The new 2026 permit amends the proposed mining limits in this area and removes the 2025 limits that are not associated with the new 2026 mining boundary. Our figure 1 operations plan.
We'll take that under advisement too. I think our planner put that in there.
That means. I don't even know what it means.
I don't either. We'll take it under advisement.
yeah, I don't understand that either.
Okay, and then, let's see.
What else you got?
Then with respect to the signage requirements that you have for the east mining area and the north mining area, we're requesting that this requirement be removed. We already have signage in place for our existing mine that says mining operation, danger mining operations, no trespassing. The permit that you put in place for 2026 is clearly going to say that we can only mine in those areas that are outlined on our figure 1 of 2026 operations plan. This seems like kind of an overreach to make us put signage up saying where we can't mine. We already know where we can't mine. Your permit will clearly state where we cannot mine.
Are you talking about the markers, not signage?
Well, markers.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I say, we have existing signage delineating where our mine is. Danger, mining, do not trespass. They are 400 feet apart along County Road 75, 200 feet along our northern driveway. To make us put signage saying no mining, where we already know we can't mine and where your permit is going to state where we can't mine, it seems to overreach and kind of a strict requirement.
I can tell you why we're asking for that. Take a map like this, this one right here. There's no dimensions on here at all. No, very few, let's put it that way. Maybe 500 from here, 500 there, but it doesn't really tell you where you are, where you're starting. I mean, it's
The scale, the map is the scale, there's a
well, yeah, but how close do you get? Yeah, how close do you get on that? Okay.
Dick, I mean,
And what we don't want to happen is, like along here, the 200-foot you're talking about. The reason you weren't supposed to be within 200 feet of the road is because the property on the other side of the street was not in a CE overlay area. But nobody knew that. This is to keep you from making mistakes and let us know exactly where the mine limits are. That way you know where they are. You're going to have to survey them anyway to know where you're at.
you're right.
It's really not an additional cost to you other than putting some stakes up.
Well, but it says the survey location showing markers shall be installed prior to, let's see. They're supposed to clearly delineate. The markers are supposed to clearly indicate no mining, stockpiling, or land disturbance. So is that to say
Past
that?
this point, yeah.
So that's to say that every 100 feet, there has to be a permanent marker with a sign that says, no mining, stockpiling, or land disturbance, every 150 feet.
We're not real concerned about what you put. Here's what we want. We want a definite boundary, so when your people are working there, somebody's out there with a cat and they're knocking down trees and that they know this is as far as we go.
But we already have our existing quarry limits. we know we cannot go outside of those existing quarry limits. Your permit specifically says we cannot go outside.
And we want them limits marked, showing on a map, so we know where they are, you know where they are?
Everything is marked on this Figure 1 operations plan.
Not really.
Yes, it
It's
is.
not really to detail. There's not,
It's, you know, the county believes it's to detail.
the county much don't seem to really care what's going on down
Yes,
here.
they do.
Yeah.
I can object to that. Lissa Leitner and her staff definitely care.
Actually, to you guys, this should not be a big deal, because when you, whether you end up closer to the north boundary or 500 feet away, you're going to have to survey that to show where that 500 foot is. You're going to want to do that for your own protection, and we want you to do
Yeah,
it.
and I mean,
Okay,
and we
so
move-
that's not an additional cost to you. It's put the
It is right
signage
now.
up.
I mean, we don't have to do that right now because we can't mine anything north of where we're already, our footprint is. I'm just, it just.
Well, yeah, you can. The permit says you can. There's a spot you can go farther
Right, but
north.
we can't relocate the driveway, so it's
We can't relocate
Yeah,
the driveways.
but if you straighten the driveway thing out, you could, okay.
But we can't straighten that out.
Yeah.
You made that clear.
Well,
at the
whatever you
last
do,
meeting
yeah.
that we had to remove the vegetative clearing permit.
But at some point in time, it needs to be marked. I want it marked so nobody goes closer to County Road 75 than they are right now. Even going farther north, you know, it makes it clean and simple for you, makes it clean and simple for us, and eventually you're going to have to serve it anyway. Somebody builds a new house down here and the lot ain't surveyed. What do? You make them get a survey.
And you make them get the survey when they're going to build.
Yeah, and you want to mine.
But we're not mining that this year. That is what I'm saying. When we do go to mine that, if we're allowed to mine it someday, yes, we'll put signage up. But right now, we're not mining there.
It makes more sense for us to do it when we're gonna be actively in the area, because somebody could move the sign. Not saying somebody couldn't move the sign, but somebody
Yeah.
could move the sign. So when we're actively going to disturb that area, our contractor is gonna do the GPS monitoring to verify that we're within our mining boundaries. I'm not gonna trust the sign. I'm gonna redo it.
You got bedrock right up to the surface, so it's not just a matter of pounding in a metal stake and sticking the sign up.
Yeah.
And every 150 feet is, I mean, you can't say that that's not an additional cost, but.
We use contractors that have GPS monitoring in their cab. They know exactly where we're at, and they will have the GIS available to them. So it makes more sense to do it when you're going to actively disturb the area versus putting a sign up.
I understand that, but things have gone south before, let's just put it that way, where people didn't know where they were supposed to be. In fact, I'll give you an example. Right behind the town hall here, all of a sudden Bob Biralgo came in here one day. Oh, we're sorry, we mined closer to County Road 75 than we were supposed to. If there would have been a sign up there, that wouldn't have happened. And like you're saying, you probably had a contractor in here removing the topsoil. So what you're saying really didn't hold true.
Well, we can't speak to the past when.
Well, yeah, we can. Why can't we? It's happened before.
I don't know that what you're saying. I don't
Okay.
know that Bob Brown came in here and said that. Technology is much more advanced too than it was.
We're very, very that's what we do, and we use the best workers that we have. So.
Well, I'd like you to take that under advisement. At the minimum, I would request, if you're still going to require that the distance correlate with the existing signage we already have in place, 500 feet, every 500 feet along County Road 75.
Hey, I can't hear you. Can you get closer?
At a minimum, I would like them to modify it if they're going to keep that requirement in, that the signage distance correlate with what's already in place every 500 feet along County 75 and every 200 feet along our northern driveway. So
Well, we're not talking the
that's
signage along 75. The signage would be on the pit side, not the street side.
I understand.
So the signage along 75 is irrelevant to what we're requesting.
But you have that on there.
No, nothing to do with right along 75. It's on the other side of the berm away from 75.
You want us to put it inside our existing quarry.
Exactly. So you don't expand the quarry out any farther than you're supposed to.
Okay, kind of
If
misconstruing that,
150
but
feet's too close, make it 200. We can live with
I
that.
guess I
mean,
think that's even more. Okay.
No, we don't care about your outside, your property line. It's on the inside.
You want them on the setback line.
Yeah, exactly.
Quarry
Yeah.
boundaries have already been
And
determined.
signage facing
Facing the
toward
pit.
interior of the quarry
Yeah,
so that
yeah.
the operator can read it.
Yeah, make it real
I
simple.
understand what you're
If I'm in a
Now
D8 cat and I'm
it
back
didn't
there
really
pushing,
read that clearly, to be honest with
oh,
you.
if I'm in a D8 cat and I'm out there pushing dirt around and trees around, drill clear. There's the sign. There it is, right there. I don't go any farther than that.
Well, and just to reiterate, the quarry boundary is already set. We're not going to move. We're on the lower bench. We can't move anymore. The quarry, it's already been established because we took
On the
the upper
lower
bench
bench,
out.
but not the upper benches.
The upper bench it's established. We've taken it out.
How about on?
This year, for this year.
Yeah.
We're in the lower bench this year, correct?
This year.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is the quarry limit's already established because we've taken the upper bench out.
To me, it's not a big deal. I've seen surveyors,
I
they
know
do this
it's not
shit
a-
really quick, really fast. You put some T-posts in with a sign on, whatever you want to put on them, do not excavate, go past this point. If that's a big problem for a multi-million-dollar company, you got more
I'm not
problems than
saying
us.
it's a big issue for $multi-million. What
Don't
I'm
tell me you
saying
can't
is
put signs in rock, 'cause you're
sand and gravel,
Passing
that would
rock
be
down there
more,
every day.
that would be more applicable to a sand and gravel. Don't excavate any further. What I'm saying is the quarry boundary inside has been established because the first level has been taken out. The upper bench has been taken
Not in the
out.
whole thing, not every. And
Where we're mining this year, yes.
I don't want them to go any further than they have on the upper level.
Okay, we'll just,
You're talking about up in that, where that weird point is? Dick,
Yeah. They do some,
toward
I can see it going up there, yes.
Is there anywhere where it says where 500 feet from the county road is along Jasper Lane?
yeah, I think there is a thing there. Well, it's on there. There is a little line on it. It's tough to see on that.
Anything on the ground?
No, that's what I'm asking for.
Okay,
There probably is.
yeah.
There probably is. I'm not gonna confirm if there is or isn't.
Or there probably is because you,
Probably is, that's been knocked out. That's my,
yeah,
Yeah, that's our point.
yeah,
when we go to do the upper bench,
yeah.
we can sign it at that point. Because it might be 2 or 3 years. It doesn't make any sense to do it today. When we're gonna go and disturb the upper bench and we need those limits, we will do that. To do
Yeah.
it and have this map to you by June, when we're not gonna mine that, we could,
Yeah.
and if we do, we will. But to do it on this timeline doesn't make any sense. We're not gonna be up in that area, because you're just gonna fall over.
Well, you want to move,
That many survey points are all out there, and you won't be able to find them.
yeah, well, you put, you did all kinds of surveying up there already for where you want to move Jasper Lane, and, you put in woodlath, and certainly they're not going to last, they're not going to be there. But if you put in a steel T-post with a sign, I mean, it's pretty easy to tell if one moved. I mean, if you got them every 150, 200 feet, and you look down and one's moved 35 feet, it don't take a genius to see somebody screwed that up on you.
I'm not against it being a good practice. I don't know why it's got to be a permit. I'm not, it's good practice.
Yeah.
What you're saying is good. It
Yeah.
has to be a permit.
I'm just doing it to protect us, protect you guys, make sure the mine stays where it is. You don't go outside where you're supposed to. We don't have people complaining. I mean, I've worked in construction. They can probably survey most of that in 2 days.
We're not concerned about the money.
Okay,
So quick clarification, just for everybody in the room. Dick is concerned with getting signage on
our property, our existing property.
Amrize's property up there on the yellow lines, on the northern part. So those lines, those yellow lines would have signs on them?
Here and here. Is that what you're talking about?
Just for clarification.
I don't want this area here redisturbed to move east any farther. And up here, here's the 500 foot. Put your stakes along where that 500 foot is. Put your stakes to this 500 foot from that, where this is, everybody's happy. And I don't think it's a double cost. Honestly, I mean, if you put them
We could try and
Steel T-post.
rewrite that so it makes
We're not
sense.
really concerned what you put on that sign as long as it keeps a D8 cat on the other side of it. To me, it's pretty simple. It's inexpensive. I mean, keeps you out of trouble, keeps us happy. Because we've,
Okay.
like I say, we've had problems with this before. This is nothing new.
Okay, it was kind of unclear how it was written.
What's that?
It was kind of unclear how it was written.
Okay.
So, but I would request 200 feet to mirror what we already have there for the existing mine site. It just,
The existing mine signs you're talking along the road?
Yeah,
They
I'm
mean
talking
nothing
along-
to me.
well,
I mean, I don't care about that.
that's just what the state requires signage like that. MSHA does.
Sure,
MSHA
sure,
does. But
okay.
I'm just saying if you guys could put the 200 feet instead of the 150.
The only reason I put the 150 on the straight part where it's straight, 200's fine, but you get up there in the curve part, you start going 200 feet, and instead of going, you're going.
Yeah, we'll do it to make, yeah, how it fits that curve thing. All right,
If you want 200 feet along the east side where it's straight, have at it.
Okay.
Okay, you know,
All right.
I mean, yeah, well,
and that's by June, whatever.
Yeah, it's in the permit, the request.
Okay,
yeah, and here's the reason we asked for the survey, because the survey should mark where these markers are. And you, yeah, they'll have coordinates. I mean, that,
okay,
if June's too early for you, I have no problem moving that back a couple months. I mean, that's, you got to pick a date, we just picked a date.
okay. That's clear to me. I'm sorry, it was unclear how
Okay.
it was written. Same with that one last sentence. All right, and the only other thing I have is under the authorized works / special conditions, A6, Pam, the word wholesome is in there. That should be removed and Amrize added.
I'm sorry, I was writing and not hearing you. We're on page 3, number 6. We're on
Page 3, authorized works, special conditions, A6. You started out by saying wholesome, should be wholesome.
I'm sorry, I'm on page 3. Wholesome, gotcha.
Yep,
I thought I had them all.
that's it. So you'll take things under advisement. I would ask that we get, the next draft a little bit sooner, maybe a day or two ahead of time instead of the afternoon of.
If it's possible, we just got our planner, so we gave her as much time as we possibly could.
No, I
And
understand.
it came down to the wire from our attorney and the planner, and then throwing it together.
I get it. And there's
Sorry,
just-
it should go quicker this time.
Yep.
I
Don't
can
complain.
rewrite things, but
Don't complain, you got it before I did.
Well, we're the applicant. We need time to review it, and we have several internal staff that needs to review it. That's all I'm asking, just to,
Be happy, we weren't even going to give it to you tonight because we didn't think we had it completed.
well, we're actually have the right to see drafts as the applicant.
But we didn't have the draft.
So, okay, be that
She
as it
didn't have
may.
that draft till about 3 o'clock.
I think I got it at 2:30.
2:30.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. We appreciate your consideration of our comments tonight, and we look forward to working with you.
Thanks, Patty.
Thanks, Patty.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Anybody else?
Moving on to new business. No, we do not need road stripping, ever.
Okay, that would be a no.
If you ever looked at the price of road stripping, it's a very expensive ordeal. It's very, very expensive. I mean, if that's something the township you guys want to pay for, but I would recommend not doing it. So I don't know what you two guys feel like, but,
Same as you, yeah.
just,
That's been brought up other years, and it's, like just to do, I think, like, Island Drive over there was like
oh yeah.
$17,000 or something.
It's
It's
just
the material that's so expensive.
Yeah.
terrible, terribly expensive.
You sure you're going to run off, Patty? You might be next on the agenda for something. I don't know, we'll find something.
With Amrize.
I know what, are you?
All right, the other thing we got to do is approve the 2026 fee schedule. So I personally don't see any issues with it. Do we need a motion to approve? Pardon me?
I'm just curious.
Just need a motion and then we can talk.
Oh, that's what I was wondering.
What was that? I missed
Is
it.
make a motion?
Not yet.
Okay, well,
I'll make a motion to approve the 2026 fee schedule.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion is made, seconded. Any discussion on that?
I will just ask, just curiosity, because I'm a little involved with it. The new conditional use permit and renewals compared to the new interim use permit and renewals. And I'm doing one of those, but I don't know which one is in the file at home, but I thought we were gonna do one or the other.
you are, but there's two kinds.
Okay.
There's conditional use, which mainly we're using for now, Amrize. For businesses on the island, we use interim use permits.
Okay. And is that once a year or every 2 years? What did you decide on that?
In May, they decided to go 2 years
Okay.
for renewals. And then for new ones, that would be up to the Planning Commission and the Town Board to decide if they want to go for a year and see how it goes, and then to renew, then they go 2 years out if there's no complaints or issues.
Then when renewal comes up, do you notify us and say, hey, get your stuff in?
I
Or
just-
we just have to mark our calendar?
No, I have a spreadsheet
Okay.
that reminds me, and I did that this year for you. So, and all of them renewed
Administrative?
for, yeah,
2
and
years.
so you got 2 years.
Okay, sounds good.
What, all 5 of them? Or
All
6 or
5 of them
something?
renewed.
All 5 of them?
Yeah.
Okay, is there a motion to approve?
One more question. Can I ask how these differ? Like what's different from the current schedule?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just wondering if you guys want to make any changes.
Got it. Okay.
This is 2025. We need to update it to 2026. Any changes? That's all.
Okay, we have a motion to approve.
We already did that. We got to vote.
Who
Yeah.
approved? Second? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. 2026.
Okay, Pioneer Road ice, I just kind of wrote that in there. Obviously, we have to do something with the road. It's pretty icy out there in spots. So what we'd like to do is probably have the clerk contact our snow removal guy tomorrow morning, first thing, and have him come out and salt that area. Are you guys okay with that?
Yeah. I called the guy this afternoon, because here's what I was hoping, he'd say it's sand salt mix. He said, oh, keep in mind we hire not a great big contractor. He says, well, I have some sand salt mix, but it's under a tarp and all froze down. Probably take me 2-3 hours to get everything off it and that. He said, I'd suggest we just go get some salt and put on there. Well, okay, you do what you think is right. So anyway, I told him I'd have Pam call him tomorrow morning after we had our meeting. So yeah, I drove down there this afternoon. It's just like my driveway.
Mine too. Ours too.
He said 105th is bad too. I said, well, nobody's complained down there yet. So this is a bad year.
They're all in the ditch.
Yeah, they're all in the ditch, yeah.
Hey, Dave, when you were down that way, did you see the 20-mile sign is pushed over?
Oh, no, I
Yeah,
didn't see that.
I noticed it the other day. I was gonna.
Oh,
The newer 20-mile-an-hour sign.
Pioneer?
Yeah, right when you turn from 75, that's here, turn the road to the first one on the right. I think that we did one down the road a little bit too, but the one right there. It was just, it's not pushed down to the ground, but it's tilted.
No, it's on the ground.
It's on the ground now?
I put it on
Oh, huh, you did? Oh, yes,
a while back. Can I make a comment on that?
Sure, sure.
Because I appreciate you jumping on it right away, but, so I actually, Eduardo Valencia from 5735 Pioneer, I actually sent you a note, because that's usually how it gets, but we always have these minimum maintenance roads, so I always thought, okay, it's minimally maintained, we are in a good spot, right? Somebody gets hurt, then it's like, we don't maintain this road.
Yeah.
But now we don't have the signs.
Yeah.
And it is seriously minimally maintained. I mean, the plow-in happens usually 2 days later. There's usually you see where they come up to turn around and the salt dumps. I don't think they've ever salted that section of it. So it's kind of, from a township perspective, sort of like one side or the other. We either maintain it without signs, or we'll put the signs back up and say, listen, this is what you get is what you get, right? But not both.
Actually,
Because what we've got this year is very, very normal
for ice buildup over there. I mean, I walk it every morning.
Yeah.
And it keeps you on your toes. Let me tell you
Actually, that minimum maintenance road thing, we found out we can't
can't
that
put
should
that
have never been called minimum maintenance, because in order to be minimum, it's got to be like a seasonal road or something like that.
And I yeah,
And
don't
it's-
doubt you at all. It's
it's
just, I
far
just,
from-
I just thought,
Supposed to be, remember when that all happened? Everybody here probably remembers that.
Yeah.
And then people just started using it, and then the person
Yeah.
there wanted more and more and more and more.
Yeah.
And then they're asking for signs to be taken down.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it should have stayed more rural.
You know, the bad part with that road would be, it'd really be nice to do something with that section from the cemetery down to your house. But the problem is, part of it has a dedicated roadway. You know, well, let's put it this way, from what you can see on Washington County's plot map, which isn't, you're not supposed to take that as the gospel. So really, we really don't own, let me use Geneva as an example. That's a dedicated 66-foot right-of-way. We can do anything we want in there. There ain't any of the other roads. There's little sections on Pioneer that have a dedicated roadway, but the rest don't. So say we wanted to go in there, I'd like to cut down them trees on the side before somebody hits them. Well, people own the trees. So now all of a sudden you start cutting down a tree and you got the property owner out there screaming and hollering. We had that happen up by your house in that little triangular corner. You're not even supposed to plow snow on there because I own it, okay? So, you know, your hands are tied in there what you can do. And you read in that Minnesota Association, a handbook thing we get on roads and how much you own and that. And it ain't clear. It's not far from clear. It ends up being a court battle on a lot. What they say is the township don't own the road, but they have the right to use it, and the inside ditch, I guess you call it. You know, maintain that area, and outside of that it's all, what do you want to call it, a no man's land? It's,
yeah, Mike, to that point, my property actually extends to more than half of the road.
Sure.
Right now, so
Yeah.
I never even thought of that. I just wanted to give you the context. That's the way it's always been.
Yeah.
I was maybe thinking, okay, it's minimally maintained, so we can get away with it. If that's not something that we can put up for whatever reason, once we looked at it, then just letting you know
yeah.
that the wrong guy at the wrong speed is going to eat up a couple of trees, and they may go, hey, this is pure ice from here to there.
Yeah.
Are we liable? Are we not? I don't know the implications.
Now, in all
of it.
honesty, I don't know how much good just throwing salt on there tomorrow is going to do.
Probably very little, but it'll roll down at least.
Yeah,
We'll see
because,
where it
you know,
goes.
when I was talking to him, what's his name, Andy, he says, well, the best thing to do is put salt on there and just leave it, not plow it off, you know.
Can't plow it.
So, but anyway, that's where that is. Okay.
Okay, what else we got? Any other new business?
Yeah, we got this crack seal estimate from the county, and that county thing.
Yeah.
You guys get a chance to look at that?
Yeah.
I looked at, and we did Geneva before we got a price in '21, because that amount seemed kind of high, I thought. Okay, 10 grand, well, 11,000 basically. It was 4,000 in '21. You know,
Do we know,
yeah, we
my question with that, Dick, was do we know what they did when they only charged us that? Did they just, it seems to me they just went and poured the stuff right on
no,
the,
they ground it out.
did they?
Yeah, they ground it out and filled it in. Yep.
I didn't
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah, they did that because I was out there watching them.
But anyway, you know, that's the cost of doing business
And-
today, triple price.
And when me and Pam went to them, well, she wasn't at the last meeting, we went to them township meetings with everybody, and I asked him, I said, how's that been working out for you using the county's thing for that? Oh, great, they all loved it. And I said, well, they call it blow and go. You just blow the dirt out and throw some tire on it and put the toilet paper on and run. They said, no, they ground them out. So, you know, so we figured, well, I don't know. I'd make a motion, we
On the trail.
jump on the county's thing and, well, I'll make a motion, we accept that bid for the $10,818.14 and give it back to the county.
We really don't, you know, the only other option that I think I mentioned to you was our road agreement for the trail has Cottage Grove seal coat in that road next year. Now, whether we look at how they do that, or exactly how they do that, or what they would charge us? I mean, do we want to look at that first, Dick, before we?
Well, I went up and it's interesting. What the people told me, he meant crack seal, not seal coat. Okay.
Yeah, crack seal.
I washed them up on them streets up there, north of 90th Street, on Hale, Hamlet, Hallmark, all them up there, and they seal coated them a couple of years ago. They didn't grind the cracks out. They just went along, blew the dirt off them, put the tar on, and then they put a roll of toilet paper on so you don't track it out with your car. So that really, it's kind of a cheap, dirty way to do it. And I'm guessing with this agreement we got with Cottage Grove, they're not going to give us any more than they did for themselves.
How far up trail do they go?
On this thing,
For what you're talking about? Are they just doing Geneva?
So,
which thing you talking about, Cottage Grove next year?
Yeah,
They're supposed to do Great Cloud Trail all the way from the Y to the
all the way up to our house,
to the border, to the Cottage Grove border.
to the border,
Yeah. That's part of that.
which is just before Geneva.
They'll go up to Geneva.
They'd go from,
Right up to Geneva.
They'll go right up to Geneva
yeah,
Avenue. That's
all
part
the
of
way to their prop, to Cottage, where it
Cottage
switches to
Grove.
Cottage Grove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just getting back to that, unless I understand, Dick, your concern if they're just going to blow it out as opposed to grinding it out, but are we sure that's what they would do? Or we,
Well, we don't know. Yeah,
That's what I mean, we don't know.
What they'll do?
Oh, on this one, he's
didn't
talking
even-
Cottage Grove.
Well, in both of them, did it stipulate in there how they do it? Because that's what
Oh.
I was looking for, and I didn't see that.
No, I didn't see
where
that
it
in there
says
anyway. I
we're
just
gonna
went,
grind it, and
I just went by what people from the other townships told me they did the other year.
when do we have to notify the county?
They wanted
If
to
there's
know-
time, we could pursue both, just do a price comparison.
They want to know by February sometime.
I mean, because we can,
Meeting agenda for approval is sometime in February. So I don't know what the sometime is, so you guys gotta figure it out tonight.
I think the email said we could, didn't the
can-
email say he figured we could do it in our February meeting if we wanted?
we can, yeah.
Get on a township, okay, do you think this will be able to get on a township board meeting agenda for approval sometime in February?
Yeah.
So you got a month to think about it.
Yeah.
Well, let's do that. Let's just, we'll talk to Cottage Grove and I want them to explain to me how they do it, and if they're gonna say, yeah, we just, and put the paper on it and leave, then I'll say, yeah, then we'll go with the county. But I just want I just want another,
Yeah, second opinion, second quote would be,
And they might not let us,
What if they don't?
Anyway. They
might not
Right,
jump on
they
it
might
anyway.
not let you
yeah, then
piggyback.
then it's fine. Then we'll go with the county, but
Yeah, then-
if there's opportunity for a second option, see what that is.
I would just,
okay,
is that okay?
Motion and
sure.
We'll look in, I'll have Pam call them tomorrow.
Okay.
And quick question, why, I don't know anything about roads. Why do we only do Geneva? Why not other roads?
The other ones don't need, well,
don't
two
need it right
reasons.
now.
The other one, well, the only other roads we got is the county road. They take care of that.
You're right, and the trail,
The
Cottage
trail-
Grove.
The trail don't need it right now with that road maintenance agreement thing we signed with
Right.
Cottage Grove.
Yep.
I think they're gonna do.
What about our new roads that we just built last year? They need it, or is that too early? Is that why?
Yeah, Pioneer
Oh,
Road
okay.
don't need it. And then, for the people at home, we've asked, me and Pam met with the engineers a bunch of times from the county and everybody else in the world, and on 105th and Island Drive, because we said, well, should we seal coat them or crack seal them? And every one of them told us, don't waste your money.
Not worth it.
They
Okay.
said they're in such bad shape that,
Got it, thank you.
and Geneva isn't terrible, okay, but, there is cracks on it, so,
Yeah. If we don't do something, it's just gonna look like
yeah.
Well, a
the old Church Street.
freeze-thaw cycle cracks gets a lot.
And then I'll tell you what Cottage Road told me after the meeting.
Okay. You got anything else?
Yeah, Pam, how about these ordinances? When were you going to work, do them? That ordinance 64 and motor vehicle and,
Yep. So I sent you guys an email with the drafts asking you to take a look at them so I can put it on the February meeting.
okay,
And then I have time then to also put up, the signage for public meeting.
public hearing, okay.
Public hearing.
All right.
Is that okay?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I didn't know if you're planning on doing them tonight or not. Well, we can't anyway because we ain't had a public hearing, right?
Right, yeah, my email stated February, so
Okay.
I don't know, unless I screwed
Have we
that up.
had a public hearing on them already or not?
No, we have to
Okay.
go through them just like we did the last three in December, 33, 61.1, and
All right.
42.1.
Okay. The only thing I other got that stuff too that, people ain't thrilled over there on Pioneer Road, and I don't blame them. You go by some of them houses and there's obviously,
What are you talking about, Dick?
well, I'll get there. Pioneer Road, you got some neighbors that got some junkyards going over there.
Oh, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, okay. So here's what I'd like to do. And I mean, some of the stuff is, we don't like it, but it's legal. Okay, there's a bunch of junk in the yard, but it's not. It's kind of like Tucker up there. He ain't doing anything wrong, but he's the neighbor from not heaven, let's put it that way. Okay, what I'd like to do is send a couple people at least a request that they clean up their property. Well, one would be stones. I mean, you look in there and there's probably half a dozen cars back there. Now, by our ordinance, they're supposed to be licensed and operable.
Right.
Maybe they are. I highly doubt it, though.
How are you going to find out if they are or not?
Well, that's kind of up to them. Hopefully, okay. Luther,
Just
he's
send
got a
him a
few
letter.
cars. He's got some. I'd like to send both of them people, asking them if Pam could send them a copy of the ordinance for our vehicles and ask them if they'd clean them up. Maybe you even want to put in there that there are places you can call that'll tow them away free. You might even get some money for it.
Get money for it.
I have sent letters to other residents with some,
Yeah. Now, Luther, like I say, maybe all these cars they got are licensed and operable. Okay, it's possible.
All you can do is ask them.
Yeah, all you can do is ask them. And as far as Luther goes, again, it's a touch of a gray. It isn't a gray area. You can be kind of nitpicky, but we do have ordinances. He's got gravel piled right along the side of the road. He had a load there one time, he used up part of it, then there was another load there and he used part of it. You really shouldn't be putting it there. I mean, we don't have anything that specifically says you can't put a pile of gravel because it's, but there are some other ordinances that we.
It's on his property. If
Well,
on his
it's.
property, there's nothing we can do.
Well, yeah, there is. But anyway, I just ask him if he'd please, when he gets more gravel, not to put it where he's been putting it, get it off.
is it
Edge
by
of the
chance in the road right of
Again, that's
way
one
at
of the
all?
spots, the
That would
road
help?
right of way.
It's on his property, I don't see
Well,
how.
it's-
It's hard to tell somebody to move
Well,
a chunk of dirt off their, to where?
you got this here. You go underneath our, what is this? Our nuisance ordinance. I mean, it stretches it a bit, but depreciation of the value of the inhabitants of the township or a considerable number thereof, it does. Unreasonably annoys, injures, or endangers the health, compose, remorse, morals, safety of considerable number of inhabitants of the township. I mean,
Is it violating the safety, health, and welfare of the community, or what's it doing?
well, yeah, it is, depending whose eyes are looking at it.
What? Like what? I don't want to start nitpicking people's property because they got a load of dirt in the front yard.
It ain't in the front yard. It's,
Well, where-
here's
next to
the road, the
If
ditch
it's
goes
on
down.
If it's on his property, I just don't want to start nitpicking everybody's piece of property.
Well-
Drive around and say, well, I don't like what you got. Well, I don't like what you got in your yard. Why don't you move your shit? Get your stuff out of the way. If it's on their property, especially if it's just dirt,
Well, it's
mounted dirt.
it's a pile of
Well,
class 5.
you know. Oh, if it's a pile of class 5, come on.
Well,
You really want to get that nitpicky? I don't.
I think
I
you could,
don't.
I think you could find a better place to put it than right on the edge of the
I don't
road.
know, Dick.
I don't know.
Chance a plow would hit it or catch it?
I don't know.
No, it's far enough off for
I know
that.
that we've in the past had people move things
Yeah.
close to the road.
Well, I'll look at the nuisance ordinance. You said it's in there? The first one you said maybe?
Well, the cars is definitely.
Cars
Well, the
definitely.
no, I'm sorry. The first example you gave
Oh,
off of the
depreciates the value of the property of the inhabitants of the township or of a considerable number thereof.
Well, what about the house up there that had those logs piled and,
Log piles are still there.
you know?
Do we want to
those
give
are
him a letter
still
too?
there, so why aren't we
Well, if
asking
you
Or do
them?
you
guys-
stop?
I just don't,
Okay.
I just don't want to start nitpicking every little
Yeah.
thing, Dick, that's all.
Okay.
I mean, I'll have a look at it, I'll drive by and see.
Well, I mean, it ain't terrible, but I
mean,
guess,
if- you know, if it's detrimental to the community or, you know, something like that. You know, yeah, I just don't want to start nitpicking on people's property, I just don't. But that's just me. You guys,
It's not right next to your house.
you guys want it,
Perhaps it's just a
but,
non-issue when you don't see it.
you know,
Perhaps we don't care that the property is a rental property with like 4 different people living
No.
there, all of them storing all the equipment they've got, and I don't have the nuisance ordinance in front of me, but I could clearly remember that any construction material cannot be stored in post a view in time of X amount of time, and so gravel would actually, which is class 5, would be considered construction material. Perhaps you should look at the last time that you actually got an inspector that went out and wrote up all these items in which it said
I would-
nuisance, and we didn't do anything about it. So it's not somebody nitpicking. It's the reality of that some of us actually have to live with an eyesore day in and day out. And then we can look at our ordinances and say, do we want rentals in our environment? Do we want to actually have them having what they've got, which is 2 external, 3 different structures, one of them being a non-physical tenant. So I know that where you live, you don't have to look at it all the time, but some of us have to walk by it every single day with a culvert that's open, that's got a pipe right on it, with a pile of dirt right next to it, with a mailbox that is duct tape, with green grounding of some sort that they've had on the trees for about 3 years, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 vehicles and boats accumulated there with all the trees falling down. This is just not taking care of the property. And like I said, look at the last time that we sent an inspector, look at the inspector report. All of it was written up as saying that these things are nuisances. And it's not a matter of saying, I like it or I don't like it. It's just that we want, I think like all of us, the properties that are in our neighborhood respecting the ordinances that we have. And we can't just ignore them because we don't want to tell them.
okay, well, I don't consider, all he was talking about, and all he mentioned was a couple piles of dirt. Now, you're mentioning something totally different. But don't ever compare to what I have, to what I have to look at, to what other people in this township have to look at. I find that very offensive. I take everything serious that goes on around here. I just don't want to be a community that nitpicks everybody's property and say, you can't have this, you can't have that, you got to move this car. If it's a violation of the ordinance, then we'll take care of it. All right?
So then we can look at the last time, last time that those properties, those same properties got reported, you actually sent an inspector. They wrote up a report. You can take a look at that report. That's from an inspector, not from an individual, to see whether or not they were what they would consider violations. And whether or not those things have been removed or not, or we've even talked to them about it, it may be something that raises to the, hey, we want properties that are just being bought to get rented, to not necessarily be respected. Is that something we want to undertake? So it's not a simple, do we like it or do we not like it, but bringing out to your awareness that things that got reported a while back are not gotten better, they're actually gotten worse, and that some of us do live right next to it.
This is definitely a rental property?
I think so.
We don't know.
I don't know for a fact. I know that I don't think that 4 male adults with driving different vehicles live in the same household, so that's all I can tell you. Are they all cousins? I don't know.
I was kind of looking at, I didn't go in the yard, but looking at the vehicles, and at one time I seen some with like collector plates on and stuff like that. So his vehicles might be operable and licensed. It might be there, or they might not be. It's
Send
just,
him a letter, I don't have a problem with that.
well, I'd have the letter.
Eduardo, I remember vaguely, so don't take this serious, but I do remember something about the inspector going out but not getting on the property. And is this the property with the tent?
That's not the property with the tent.
Oh, okay, that's the property he couldn't get on.
Actually has a tent with a person living in there. We've got neighbors here that walk by it every day, so they can attest to it.
If I was going to tell you, if somebody's got somebody living in a tent like that, I would call the Washington County Public Health Department, because I think they would be the ones, because we don't have an ordinance that says you can't sleep or live in a tent, you know, but I'm sure the county has something on where you can live and where you can't live and what you can use for living conditions.
Go to St. Paul, there's all kinds of people living in tents.
Shit, there's
Oh,
tents.
yeah,
there, though, right?
yeah.
You know, and as far as that goes too, you know, we're living in difficult times, you know. People are struggling to get by. Maybe they're housing their kids, or they got somebody that's, you know, out in the street, or, you know, we don't know. But we have no business to go into somebody else's property and say they can't have somebody sleeping in a tent in their backyard.
I don't recall, Chair, right now, what ordinance does not allow for people to live in a non-permanent structure. I'm pretty sure it's there. So I'll look it up. It was part of also the report, what the report from the inspector said is at the time that they could visit it, they couldn't see it clearly. Remember that we had removed a fifth wheel that was in that same property, I think probably for the same individuals, because it was not in compliance with our ordinance. Now it moved to a tent. I don't know if the smell of drugs would indicate whether or not it's a family in there, but I think that the yelling at 4 in the morning, which is when I walk, would give me the sense that it's just not a family in need, but a non-ideal condition. And I think I don't know. I think we've got ordinances that do not allow people to live in a non-permanent structure.
I don't know if we do, but I bet the county does on public health department.
I think it has to have running water and a bathroom.
Yeah.
County, but yeah, I'm not sure.
And I kind of took a look at Perna's again there, and, you know, the bad part about that place is, I don't know when all these, I mean, let's face it, you got all kinds of shacks and sheds and tents and carports and everything else. I mean, along with about 30 other residents in Gray Cloud. I think there's one brand new one back in the woods. And in fact, Luther's got a brand new one down in the woods too, down toward the river. But I don't know when all these other shacks that he's got were built, judging by him probably before there was an ordinance against them. So, and then as far as these carport things go, these tents and that, you know, what do you do on that? We beat that kind of to death here about a year ago. And like one day I went around the island when I was driving school bus, and I think I counted 17 of them. And that's just what you could see from the road. And as time went on and the leaves fell off the trees, there's probably another 10, 15 of them. So, you know, anybody's got a good answer for that? I mean, you really can't tell Phil to tear his tent down without telling the other 30, you take them down too. You know, I mean, you know. And they're not legal, you know. That's what, what's his name, Eric Folsom wanted to make them legal. In fact, we tried to make them legal in some form or fashion so we could control them better about a year ago. And Eric found out, talking to the building inspector, nobody makes one that's legal. None of them qualify as a building. They don't meet standards for building codes and stuff like that. So what it amounted to is we're trying to make them, like I say, so people could have like the greenhouse type ones they have, and have a tent and count it against the accessory structures they have, and found out, no, you can't do that. None of them are legal. So
Tell me one thing, Dick. So
yeah.
That property itself, from what I can count, because it happens to be that the physical layout of that property is relatively flat, so it's easy to see what's in it. Easily from the road, we've got one main home, you've got a detached garage, you've got 4 physical structures and 2 tents. That's what's on that property right now. I don't know what else, right? So that is in the context of our zoning and how many structures you can have, completely outside of the realm of what should be there. By the way, one of them has been built in the last 5 years, so it's the one that they put by the septics, which is all cardboard and whatever. So in what good faith do you think that, from a planning commission perspective, a citizen that comes in that wants to build one other structure. I've got two. I've got my main home and an outside garage. That's all I've got. I want to put a third structure in the woods, just because I like to go and watch animals.
Or a fourth and fifth one.
Or a fourth and fifth one. By ordinance, I cannot do that.
Right.
In what faith do we tell them no? So that's my point. My point is that
Easily if they come to you.
well, no,
But
if they
if
come
they're
to,
already
if they come to
there.
the planning commission, we tell them, no, you really can't. You can't have really a third structure in that you've got 6 acres, I understand. And then they go, you know what, I'm just gonna build it, because when I build it, you're not gonna do anything about it because you just don't. So we need to kind of decide, we all build whatever we want, or we don't. When we can't be in this, if we build whatever we want, it's gonna be okay because there's others that do it, and we put people that wanna build the new things through a process. But I think we need to think about this and say, which way do we wanna go? And at what point, when you are made aware of a property that is outside of compliance with ordinance, and these are not tents, 3 of them are permanent structures, okay?
Yeah.
They're permanent structures.
3 or more, yeah.
That we would tell them, well, it's the way it is.
Yeah.
At what point do you say, as long as nobody says anything, well, I'm telling you it's fair. So what is your duty into saying, we need to bring this property to compliance in order to make sure that we can uphold compliance for everybody else? They're right now building in front of one of the people that are in the meeting, they're building structures behind their house. They may not take down the old structure. They may build a new one and not take down the old one. What are we gonna tell them?
Oh, which house is that?
You talking about Clevine?
I'm talking about.
We have a contract with them, that says they have to.
What if they don't? What are we
Then
gonna
we
say?
take
Then
them,
they get fined,
then
and
they-
then we put a lien on their property.
So,
That is a heck no.
and that's because we think that is somehow different? And then
Well-
when they look and they say, but there's 4 structures on that home, all I'm saying is that we need to, my appeal is to be consistent. And that if we've got situations in which we've got homes with that type of a setup, particularly when they've got a big, situations like people living in tents and so on, that we continue to tell them this is outside of compliance. That's all I'm saying.
See, part of the problem with Perna's is, I don't know when he put all these shacks up he's got over there, but if it was before we had an ordinance,
We've had an ordinance since we've been, look at the date of the Summit ordinance.
yeah, but we don't know when he built the shacks.
I know he built one when he put the drainage field, the septic in there. That was 4 years ago, 5 years ago. We could look at that permit.
See-
That's the time that he put the last one. So, I don't know.
See, now that we probably could have dealt with when he did it. Okay. But the other ones, if they were there before the ordinance, they're there. Okay. As far as all the worst part is all these tents around town. You know, what do? You basically, you know, lack of better words, you go around and piss off about 30 residents. And it's not just tents. I've been back in a lot of these driveways around here, and believe me, what you see from the road isn't what you see when you get into the yard. You know, so like Phil said, you know, what do the people want us to do? We don't have, we have a few people that complain about stuff, you know, and not that that's wrong or anything, but you got 98% of them that seem to care less. In fact, if you went after them and told them to clean their place up, they're going to care a whole lot more. So as a board, you know, which direction do you go on that? You know, I mean, it's a catch-22.
You go by your ordinances.
Go by the ordinance, but how much
Yeah,
money
so-
is that gonna cost us to force these people to do what they did? Case in point, Kulo?
Kulo.
What did that cost us, 10 grand?
6,500.
Just to get him to clean up his yard. I don't know how we could afford to get everybody in this township to clean up their yard. That needs to. Because if we start with 1, 2, 3, we're gonna have to keep going.
We went after the worst of the worst, and don't ask me where we draw the line, because, you know, there is no line. And, you know, we've had two of them, that Culo, the guy up in the corner up there by the Y. You take a left at the Y, the second house on the right side. And then Mr. Moe down here, we got after him. And like I say, Culo, he knew how to play the game. We ended up with $6,500 in attorney's fees and dealt with them for what, over a year probably? Moe, we didn't end up with any money in. Well, I don't think we will. Luckily, his kids came along and called us down there and asked what to get rid of, and they got rid of most of it. Like I say, how do you pick which one you go after, which one you don't? You know, I guess you take the worst, and we're not the only town that does this. I mean, I'll give you a real good example. Go down, take a left at the Y, go down Great Cloud Trail. Right when you go around the curve, you go past Geneva, you go around the curve, that house on the right-hand side there. There's nothing conforming about what he's got going on there. You go up around a little more to the next house up there, there's a little greenhouse there, you take a look at that yard. There is nothing conforming going on about that. My little school bus job driving around Woodbury and Cottage Grove and Newport and St. Paul Park, there are many, 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 many lots that are non-conforming. I can guarantee you. So they're in the same boat as we are. And in fact, somebody on our street called about the one at the end of our street with all the stuff there. The answer back from Cottage Grove was, we don't have anybody complaining, and you live in Great Cloud and that's in Cottage Grove, we ain't talking to you. You know, which I kind of don't blame them. I mean, it's how much money they got to spend for a different resident. You know, so everybody else don't go after their people either. I mean, it's...
Got anything else? Let's move on.
Okay, yeah, could we
Yeah.
wrap it up? So any action items for the clerk other than 2 letters?
We're going to send them a couple letters, yeah.
But, I'm not sure which properties I'm supposed to send letters to.
I would just send a letter to Stone and Luther, and on both of them ask if you have unoperable, unlicensed cars, it's against our ordinance. And on Luther, I would say just ask him the next time he gets gravel, if he could please not dump it alongside the township road.
As a courtesy.
Yeah.
Possibly.
And you hope he goes along with it.
Pam, can you send us those inspection reports too, if you can find them?
Sure, if I can find them.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. I probably have them, but I mean, if you got, thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
So if we've
Anything
already
else,
done
Dick?
this.
No.
You done?
That's it. I'm done.
Got anything?
I don't, yeah.
Oh,
You have? Okay.
it's too late.
Come up here and state your name
Come on
and
up.
address, please.
On up, see what you...
It's our first meeting.
Nancy Trample, 9010 Gray Cloud Island Drive South.
Okay, that was too fast.
9010.
No, your name.
Nancy Trample, Trampel.
Okay.
9010 Drive South.
Right at the freeway.
Yep.
And I don't know if this is the right place or not, but my big question
It's the only place.
or where, well, that's kind of why I'm here, because I don't know where to go. What, if anything, do we have as a say in all the new stuff they're putting in?
Which,
On-
where?
From town, St. Paul Park, to our house. That whole
You're
side.
right before the Y,
Yeah,
right?
we're right at the Y.
Right at the
We
Y.
are, if you drive straight ahead, you will drive into my house.
Oh, off of the trail.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're on the trail, you will hit my house.
Yeah.
Okay.
So where do I go or what?
St. Paul Park. All that property's in St. Paul Park.
Yeah, because that's going to directly affect, as a township, we don't have any say over how close they're going to put those houses and everything. That directly goes against what our values are.
They could
Of
care less
acre
about
lots?
us. That's,
Hopefully-
I'm just curious, what have you heard, the latest? Have you heard any updates on that proposed housing development?
Nothing.
It just
There's
that
nothing.
they're supposed to be doing their
Starting this summer.
starting, yeah, they're supposed to be doing all their,
There's nothing.
Okay.
There's nothing yet.
It's not even bought yet, okay?
okay.
There's
So there's
nothing.
nothing happening.
Nothing. They're still in negotiations.
They still have to do geological surveys too?
Yeah, the surveys and everything was what I was told they were going to be doing this summer, was all the surveys and everything.
The railroad.
Because that's going to directly
Right.
put our property value way down. Because we've got property and they're, houses at ticky-tack all in a row.
Let me give you just a touch bit of history on that property. Gordy knows.
We know that Jerkface owns it.
Okay, or he did own it.
He tried to sell railroad and all that.
Can we adjourn and then just continue the chat?
Oh,
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.